Okay, hello, my name is Owen Davido,
And I am Mason Hecker, the lovable sweetheart of the group.
and this is Soup with the Boys. We're the
We
boys,
are the boys.
and we got some stories, some news
The
stories.
news stories.
You want to start, Mason?
Okay. Do you think I should start with serious or more weird?
I'd say go serious.
All right. Um. So it turns out that they found they did genetic mapping on a tomb in Ireland.
Where? Where was the tomb?
The tomb was a couple miles up from Dublin, and it was in Ireland, and it was Neolithic era, Neolithic tomb, and um, so in this ancient Irish tomb, they did some genetic mapping, and they found that the parents of a middle-aged man that was dead in there was very close to the genes of the man, if that makes sense. His genes were too close to his parents,
Are you
and
saying incest?
yes, I am saying incest.
All
Thank
right.
you. It's
So,
just crazy that like high class people in ancient Ireland used to practice incest
well, I mean that
because
happened all over Europe because like people thought they were better than like the peasants, and so eventually it was just the same families inbreeding over and over again.
yeah, um,
Also, King Tut married his sister.
and Cleopatra married her brother.
Yeah, it was wild. It was
Yeah,
insane. It was crazy times. No one
I
knew
feel
how
like,
incest worked.
um, but it sort of changes everyone's view of the Neolithic era. Instead of an interesting cultural time, it's a
You
time
know,
where there's inbreeding and
you know,
incest.
yeah, some guy's gonna do his sister.
Yeah.
That's just how it was.
hmm And
How it's
throughout
always been.
history and throughout cultures, it's like incest has been frowned upon. I
Yeah,
feel like frowned upon is too easy of a wording. It's
yeah.
been more than frowned upon, but only by really high class people has
Incest is pretty nasty.
it's okay. Yeah. And you're still screen sharing, right?
I am? Oh,
Yeah, you are.
oh, sorry.
I was on a roll and I didn't want to stop.
No, okay, just keep going. We can edit that out.
Yeah. But what do you think about that? Incest in an Irish tomb.
Well, I'm not surprised, honestly. It seems like something Neolithic peoples would do.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess technically speaking, it's what civilized European monarchs did. So
Right.
no one's really no culture is really above it. You
Now,
know.
the Neolithic era, is that after or before Homo erectus?
Wow, you really had to ruin that section. All right, should I go now?
Yeah, you should.
I'm gonna go for a lighter one after we did that whole incest thing.
All right.
So, what?
Yeah. All right.
All
Do
right,
it.
all right. The company B and N, they make Aunt Jemima syrup, cream of wheat, and other stuff. On
Okay.
the cream of wheat box, you ever had cream of wheat?
No,
It's
I
pretty
don't.
good stuff. It's good stuff. But anyway, on the cream of wheat box, right above the logo, there's a black guy, and it's kind of a stereotypical like black chef. And
Can you
apparently,
describe to me what is a stereotypical black chef for all our listeners that don't
well,
know?
I don't want to say it on the podcast, Mason, because then I'm gonna sound like a racist.
Well, you are one. So,
No, I'm not.
all right, you're not racist. You're offensive.
All right, that's fair. But anyway, it's kind of interpreted to be like uh, Also, they make Aunt Jemima. You ever had Aunt Jemima syrup?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know Aunt Jemima, like the name and the picture, how that's pretty racist.
I don't know how that's pretty racist. I just know that it's a black woman. Why is it racist?
Well, see, because it's not a real black woman. It's kind of a stereotype.
Hmm. So I got a question. What's B&M? Is that the name of the company?
Mm-hmm.
So which came first, B&M and their black chef, or
Yeah,
South Park and their black chef?
I would say B&M came first.
How do you know that?
Well,
Where's your sources?
well, when companies started and they had racist mascots, it came before South Park. Even
Well, I bet
even
I
though
can think of at least two companies with racist logos from very recently.
what, like Apple?
All right. I'm going to try to think of two companies that have had racist logos. Um,
Oh
let's
yeah, I
see.
forgot to mention. They're gonna change the mascot of Cream of Wheat probably into like a less stereotypical black guy, and they might even change the name of Aunt Jemima syrup.
Where are we talking? Oh yeah, two companies that have racist labels. I
Hmm.
gotta go Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, Colonel Sanders. He's white, and he's a stereotypical white guy.
You know how Kentucky Fried Chicken got its start as a gas station, and Colonel Sanders was an actual dude. He owned a gas station. He just started making chicken, and now it's like a whole world franchise.
PETA. You know that animal place that tries to protect animals.
I
Their
don't think
logo
that's
is
racist.
white. And you know what else?
That's because
The World Health Organization, they're racist too
why is that?
because because you know they're on their logo. It's a picture of the world, but it's not the whole world. I can't remember which part of the world it is right now. I think it's just America, but that's not the whole world, and they're racist.
I thought you were gonna say it's racist because it spells out who, and all the members of the Who were white.
That too. Good catch. Um, you about ready for my story? My next story?
Oh, sure, yeah.
All right. Um, so this is my one of my semi weird ones, not full weird. Uh, so a South Carolina couple robbed a Pizza Hut at gunpoint
Yep.
because they forgot to give them their Pepsi. The
Wow.
husband pointed a gun at the cashier while the woman snuck behind the counter and stole a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi. And I mean, this is fairly old news. It happened a couple days ago. When I say a couple, I mean 9. But I
Mm,
don't think they have found the couple that did it.
that's wild.
Yeah, and they even have security camera footage of them robbing the thing, and they haven't found it.
That's crazy, man. What I'm kind of weirded out by is the fact that they went back and they took Pepsi instead of Coke. Like, I'd be offended. Like, I would do that if I got Coke instead of, like, Pepsi instead of Coke just normally.
Right.
Like,
But they
sometimes, like, is Pepsi okay? No! and, then, and then I drink the blood of my enemies instead. Read that part out. That wasn't funny at all. Okay,
um your turn with I
my
believe
turn.
a semi weird one as
A
well.
semi weird one. Well,
Or
I was gonna do a serious one.
all
'Cause
right, do a
I
serious
got
one.
I got a pretty weird one to finish it off.
All right,
All right, all right,
me too.
all right. So the other day, successful Fox News host Tucker Carlson.
Let me look up a picture of him real quick.
You don't need to. He looks kind of stupid. He looks like a white guy, like an older white guy, but with like the haircut of a middle schooler.
Ah, yeah, nice. Oh wait, there's a picture of him here, and it's comparing his face to Elmo's. Is that accurate?
I believe so.
All right, perfect.
All right.
And,
So anyway, Tucker Carlson, he was on. He was doing a show the other day, and he
right.
was reporting on some all the Black Lives Matter protests, right? So he was talking about the protests in Fort Worth, Texas.
Right.
He was talking about how uh, basically his main beef was the police arrested some people and then discharged them, or no, not discharged. They let them go basically because they were like vandalizing, looting, and whatnot. Uh, the police, uh, the Fort Worth police department got back to him. Like they didn't let anyone go because of they let people go because they had like minor misdemeanors and they were participating in the protests where stuff was going down, right?
Right.
So this is Tucker Carlson just got absolutely slammed by this police department, and they're basically on his side. Like they have share opinions. Like they're stopping the protests and whatnot. You ever seen the police chiefs join the protest? They did like the arm in arm thing a couple times. That happened in Seattle.
Arm in arm. What's that?
I mean, they would like linked arms.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that. Was it the police or the protesters?
The police and the protesters.
All right.
Yeah. So Carlson was totally. This is the thing. This is like my main beef with like Fox News. Not that they have beliefs that differ from mine, which they do. It's just that no, it's just that it's terrible journalism.
Yeah, I feel like it's more opinion based than factual.
Yeah, they don't like
And
they run
with all
like conspiracy theories and
yeah, and it's opinion based, and with all due respect, they're terrible opinions.
yeah, it
Right.
just goes against all the standards of decent journalism.
Yeah.
Okay. You got anything else for me, Mason?
Yeah, I got two more stories. How many did you get?
I got two or three.
All right. Um, I told you the Irish incest, and I told you the
Incest,
South
yep.
Carolina couple. Uh,
Yep.
the next story is about science.
Oh
I
boy,
was, I was
science.
fun one, and this is basically the last day. This is basically the last day of school for us. Not
Yeah.
officially, but like we don't have any
Second to
more
last
work
day.
to do. And so this might be the last science you hear forever.
Oh
We might
boy.
never make it back.
Are you
Uh,
suggesting that I'm going to die over the summer, Mason?
I'm
Mason, is this a
suggesting
death threat?
yes, it
Is this
is.
a Oh God. I
Um, so scientists say that if life on Earth took about 5 billion years to progress to a what's it called, cognition or
uh so they
a
were
uh,
smart,
a
basically,
a,
civilized,
a
whatnot.
not like a cognition civilization, like the human race, you know.
Yeah.
If it took about 5 billion years to get there on Earth, and um, then they think that it's fully possible that there could be like 36 other cognition civilizations throughout our galaxy. Because if there's sun-like conditions and Earth-like conditions, and it's been over 5 billion years, then it's possible that there could be other life. But there's a lot of varying estimates. There can be 0 to in the millions, but the institute that published this study said that there could be 4 to 211 civilizations out there, but 36 is the most likely number.
Okay, all right.
What do you think about that? What do you think of the possibility that there could be aliens?
I'm not surprised, honestly. It's definitely like, if it happened here, it's likely to happen somewhere else.
All right, Owen, can I ask you a question? Bigfoot
Sure.
or the Loch Ness Monster? Which one do you believe more?
I would say Bigfoot, just because it seems more likely.
Why is this more likely to you?
I mean, it's not likely at all, but it's more likely than like a dinosaur thing in Scotland.
Yeah. Which urban legend or urban myth do you believe in the most, and which do you believe in the least?
Just in general, or between the two?
Just in general.
Urban legend wise, let's see. Okay. That's very nice, Mason.
Thank you.
Okay. Urban legend wise, I would say the one I most believe in is like aliens. You know? Not like aliens, not like crop circle aliens,
Right.
but like life somewhere out there in the galaxy.
All right. I have another question to ask you about that, but tell me your least believable one.
The one I least believe in? Fan death.
What's Panda?
In South Korea, they believe that if you sit in a closed room, like with no doors or windows open, with a running fan for too long, you'll die.
Huh. So, speaking of aliens, do you think that they would look like green and big eyes, or do you think they would look more like us? Because I've thought about it, and I think that if they had the same circumstances and they are both carbon-based life forms, then why wouldn't they look a lot like us?
I mean, it kind of depends on like the conditions of the planet, right?
Right?
Because we
But
evolved like with a certain amount of gravity, with certain like heat cycles, certain longer, like certain lengths of days, stuff like that. So I
right.
think on those variables, you could get a lot of different kinds of aliens and species.
Yeah, but I do agree with you there, but I feel like um they wouldn't look overly different from us.
I mean,
I
that
mean,
might also be right.
what?
That might also be true. Like, right, like we evolved to the humans evolved to walk on 2 feet, run,
Right.
use opposable thumbs. By the way, do you think if we found aliens, do you think they would have opposable thumbs? Or that a specifically human raccoon monkey thing?
Um, I I'd say they wouldn't necessarily have like the same type of thing, like the same type of opposable thumb, but I'd say that they had something like that probably.
Yeah, do you think it would have similar hands to us?
Something like that probably.
I read this science fiction graphic novel a while ago. I forgot what it was called, but it's basically like uh, there's a there's some people looking for aliens, and this lady's like in like the secretaries. they was written in the 50s. So there's a secretary that's a lady, and she and her fiance go and get married, and it turns out that the fiance is an alien. He's just been disguised. But the twist at the end is that they're on Mars. They're Martians, and and the aliens are humans coming to Mars and disguising themselves as Martians. And the Martians look just like humans, except for that they're not mammals somehow, and they don't have like belly buttons because they don't have the umbilical cord. It's a weird story.
Yeah, it sounds like it. That is pretty much all I have to have. All I have for aliens in that story. Your turn.
All right, I got a something of a classic for you.
Oh God, what did that mean?
Oh God. All right. This one. A man in Florida, or as some like to call it, a Florida man.
Woo, Florida man.
It's a Florida man. All right. Okay. So let me explain. So. Okay. All right. Clearwater, Florida. A couple days ago. All right. Right? All right. Clearwater, Florida. A couple days ago. Police are responding to a reported overdose. And they go in, they search the house, and they come out in an air vent. This guy, his name was Brendan Dolan King, he was selling ecstasy. You know, ecstasy.
Oh, is a fun one.
Yeah, so, and they were shaped, and you know how you can get ecstasy pills in different shapes, apparently?
I do not, but you are the drug one of the group, so I guess I
come
gotta.
on. All right.
You
Okay.
get high constantly.
The guy had Trump-shaped pills.
Like
Yeah.
the hair and the.
No, like the whole head.
Huh.
Yeah.
Was it clear that it was Trump, and why would somebody make it like that?
I don't know. It's like, I mean, what do you think about? So what do you think about like Trump's representation is like an oaf, or like his general representation in the media?
Oh, this is an interesting question. I feel like I don't know. I feel like if he is the president, he needs to think about his actions. And there was like a famous celebrity a while back, and a bunch of people loved him, but he did something kind of bad. And then a bunch of little kids started copying that. And he was like, that's not my job. I'm not trying to be their role model. But if you are a famous person or a public figure like that, someone's gonna look up to you. Someone's gonna do what you do. And if they're young and impressionable, they're not gonna know otherwise. And like it's definitely it feels like it's we're devolving as a species.
It's evolving just backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I think basically the his representation is, what he makes it.
Right.
And I think sometimes he kind of plays a character, right? Like some famous people or celebrities and whatnot, they kind of like they're themselves, and then they're like who they are, right? They're they're the like press selves and their actual selves.
Right.
And I
That
think
could be
he is
said
an
about a lot
I
of
think
people. But yeah.
yeah I think he is actually an idiot, but I think sometimes he plays it up, for the camera to get more attention,
Right.
right? Like you hear
Um.
about the Bible thing. He There were some protesters were in a park, and he cleared the park. He had the park cleared with like cops and tanks and whatnot. Yeah, it's insane. And so he walked across. Then he came in, walked across the park, and he had a Bible with him. He went to a church, held up the Bible, took a couple pictures, and walked away.
And then did he let them all back in, or was that the end of it?
That was the end of it.
So he like, is it still closed? When did he reopen it? What? What? What?
Okay,
What?
that's not important. Mason. The thing is he like shut down a justified protest violently, so he could go get a picture to make himself look good, right?
Right. And I feel like I, I feel like a lot of the actions that he does as a press person, as a what's the word I'm trying to say? As like a public figure,
Yep.
a lot of the actions that he does, I feel like it's trying to endorse himself, like you said, like YouTubers, they're
Yeah.
not that crazy, but they act that way. Like Jake Paul, Logan Paul, they know that they're doing a bad thing, but they do it anyway because they want more attention.
Yeah,
And I
because it's
feel like
good
that's
business.
yeah, and I feel like that's sort of what he's doing or attempting to do a little bit with himself and the Trump towers. But I feel like it's not working that well. I feel like it's sort of going in the opposite direction as he planned.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I think negative attention is still attention to him, right? To
Yeah,
most people.
yeah, it is. Which, yeah. But I think it was to grow his self-image and grow his business. But it's not. It's like his business is starting to plummet a little bit, and everyone hates him. Not everyone, but
Not everyone. He's
a
a
lot of people do.
yeah, yeah. All right. You got anything else?
Yeah, I do. I have just one more story. Incest aliens, South Carolina.
Go
Uh,
on.
and finally, this is my really weird one. So, however long ago it was yesterday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
There was these cows that got onto a closed hotel's beer garden. And
Yep.
it's crazy because you're watching the video. And it's just like a couple cows. They walk out to the parking lot and they're going sort of slow. And then they start to go closer to the hotel. And then, like, 10 more just hobble on in. And then they like stay stagnant for a little bit, sort of look around. And then they start marching in a line over to the beer garden and just like sort of sit down, look at the tables, walk around. And this is the worst part of the whole story. The hotel manager, he said the cows thought that they could build up herd immunity.
Boo! You suck!
Wow.
You get
Get
it? Because
off
like
the
herd
steps!
immunity, where a bunch of people aren't
Yeah,
sick anymore because they all have it, and it's like a herd of cows, and it's a bad joke. So that's why I was like,
Oh yeah, that's very, very funny. That's absolutely hilarious.
yeah, it's not though.
Yeah, that was sarcastic.
It's sort of hard to tell with you, Owen, and it's
Okay.
going to be harder to tell for our listeners.
Should I just clarify every time I say something that wasn't sarcastic? Also, what do you mean listeners? I think Mr. Maloot's the only one that's ever gonna hear this.
Well, you don't know. You know how many subscribers I got on YouTube? As of right now, like 3 to 5. So, but you know what?
Wow,
I
you're
got 79 views on one video one time.
Oh wow, really? Which video?
It's not important. It's
Which
a
video, Mason?
it's
Which
a
video
video
was
of
it?
me dressing up as the Tiger King and making a spoof parody song where I said I was gay a lot.
Okay, that's very good. Remember that one with the guy? I forgot what it was. You texted it to me once. It was that guy, and it was. Shit. I knocked over my can. I think I got the whole tray wet. You want to see my setup here?
Yeah.
I got soup and a can of salsa. This is like just my lunch, basically. I'm just eating lunch here.
I barely even touched my soup.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been slurping it this whole time.
I still got half a lot left.
Yeah. Is that Campbell's?
Yeah.
Alright. Campbell's is the finest brand of soup.
But you were saying I texted you something?
Wait, what?
I texted you a guy, and it was like a guy doing something. Well,
yeah. Are we done? I don't think we have anything else.
Well, thank you for listening to this. This has been episode 1 of Soup with the Boys. See you next time.